Welcome to Live It Up. Live up to your career expectation, become the best you want to be, and make your inspiration your reality. My name is Jean Yang, and today we have the privilege to have Sanjay Burman, a CEO of Burman Books, to come and talk to us about his career journey and entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for coming in today, Sanjay.
My pleasure.
In a brief 1 to 2 sentence, can you tell us what do you do?
Well, I'm a motivational publisher, so I publish motivational books, spiritual books, business books, all about accelerating your mind. I'm a hypnotherapist on weekends, specializing in addiction behavior. And I'm also a writer myself. I've published 5 books.
I know you first started entrepreneurship mindset at a very early age.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about that story, about your high school?
Well, yeah, sure. I was president of my student association, and there was a gentleman who walked in with a suit, and he had a kind of a Pepsi logo envelope, so I followed him into the office, and the principal was too busy to talk to him, so the secretary told him to put it in the mailbox of the principal, and he'll look at it when he could. And it turns out that, you know, my mailbox was right underneath his, and I took it back to my office and opened it up, and they wanted to put Pepsi machines into the schools. I called him back and said, my principal is too busy to deal with this, but if you want, I'll talk to you about it. And here's what we want. We want $1 per student buy-in plus 10 cents per can. He said, okay. And then I said, there's a junior school right next door. We want a percentage of them as well. And he said, okay. And then, I said, we need new textbooks, and you can put a Pepsi logo in those textbooks. And he said, okay. And so every time I kept asking for more, he'd come back with, okay. So I just kept pushing to see how much more I could get. And by the end of it, we had, the contract for the catering rights for Pizza Hut once the present caterers were going to expire. And we had, textbooks, we had posters on the wall, we had urinal advertising. And so it turned out to be a very large $1.2 million deal. And then I sent it to my superintendent to sign, and he sent it to my principal saying, what is this? My principal called me in, and he called my parents in, and he said, your son, sold the school's Pepsi, and, you can't do that. It's public property. So the deal died, but the Mississauga Board of Education actually picked that deal up and signed it. And there was a very big uproar about whether there should be advertising in schools or not. So today, if you go into any school, you'll see milk ads, you'll see Guess Jeans ads. That was from that deal, and they saw it as a new revenue stream.
Oh my God, so you were the starter of it all.
I guess in a sense, yeah.
And how old were you?
I would have been 17, I think, yes.
17 and so bright, negotiating with Pepsi. Wow. I remember you first started movies.
Yeah, so movies and television was where I started very young. I was 14 when I started getting coffee for a lot of the Toronto Film Festival executives. And then from there, it led to getting my shot as a producer for CBC News World at 16. And then by 23, I produced my first big feature film, which was called Spider with David Cronenberg. Changed a bit and went into the world of hypnosis by chance, and that led to experiencing a whole different world. And then from there, it was learning body language, because sometimes people don't talk under hypnosis, and I started to notice that we have universal signs and we have special signs and micro gestures and things like that, and then started to learn more about it and build my own understanding of it.
What kind of things do you hypnotize people on?
Anything from addiction behavior, emotional problems, some biological problems, fears.
So under what circumstance that people will not be able to be hypnotized?
Everyone is hypnotizable. It's a natural state. Understanding how the brain processes information and then speaking to that person in their own neural language kind of thing. That, you are different than the next person, and so the two of you probably won't go under the same way.
I also wanted to ask, for a lot of young professional like me, we have a hard time detecting body language in networking setting. So how can you tell if someone is genuinely interested to network with you?
The first thing about body languages is that it's a quarter of a second before what is said. So it's the truth. Generally, when you're talking to someone and you get a sense of something, it is because their subconscious body language is entering your brain and giving you that signal. So you may walk in the room and see someone and never met them before, have nothing to do with them, but you just don't like them. There's something about them that you don't like, and you don't understand why. Or you walk in the room and you just instantly connect with someone. That's all body language type of stuff that's going on there, where they're receiving your body language well and giving you back the same way, or vice versa. And so when you're looking for it, you want open body language, you want real smiles. There's a fake smile, there's the real smile, there's the eyes. Sometimes if their eyes are sort of squinting or tight on you, or they have kind of an angry look in them. Eyes are the window to the soul. So if their eyes are bright and they're happy to see you, they're generally happy to see you. Those are the kinds of things you want to be looking for. Their body should be facing you, their feet should be facing you. And those are the types of language that you want in a networking session.
How can you detect if someone is lying?
Someone lying is usually, there'll be an indicator there that they'll itch, they'll swallow hard, they'll look away when they're about to try and tell you something, did you steal that? No, I didn't steal it. Why would you say that? Or indirect answers, did you steal that? Why would you think that I would steal that? Instead of just saying yes or no kind of thing. You
wrote a book about success made easy.
Yeah.
What is your definition of success?
To me, success is whatever makes you happy. It's not about having the job or having the wife and kids. It's whatever your personal goal is.
It seems that happiness is a buzzword, how to become happy. What is your recommendation on how to be happy?
Be sincere with yourself. I think that there's so much garbage that you're trying to beat around the bush and all of that, and I think that life is too short. So just, you have one life, live it out, be sincere. If you're not happy, make the change.
Oh, so nice. Okay, I have one last question for Sanjay. Sanjay, I wanted to ask you, what kind of career advice or recommendation you would give to a young professional or professional of today's world?
Well, I think that the social media has created this sense of entitlement for people. And so I've seen a lot of laziness take place because young people think that they deserve to be able to sit on a throne and other people will sort of bow down to them. and when I was trying to make it, there wasn't a person who could possibly stand in my way. I would do anything, bend over backwards, seek out the right advice, seek out the right mentors. And today everyone is stuck on selfies and things like that. And I think that if you want to make it, there are over 1,000 people right behind you that are willing to work harder than you if you don't pick up your pace. So if you want it, you can have it. It takes hard work, but you got to work at it every day.
How long did it take for you?
Years and years and years, and still not done it. So I don't think it's an ever-ending thing. To someone, I'm very successful. To another, I'm not. It's about how I feel about myself, and so I'm on a very long journey right now.
I think this is going to give us a lot of insight on how to approach our future. Thank you so much, Sanjay.
My pleasure.
Thank you. I really appreciate it a lot.